Welcome back to Success International Training Institute. Remember, we're in our series, Fridays to Financial Health. Last week, we gave you 2 steps on your journey to financial health. Those were reflection and planning. Today, we're moving on and we're going to be discussing some new measures now to get you on that path. I hope you had a good week because you were encouraged to set out to gain financial freedom, to gain financial health, to move from that place of despair and regret and hurt and pain and come into a place where you're going to develop, where you're going to change your attitude and you're going to revitalize yourself. So let's get straight into this week's program. You have done your plan, and I said to you, you should have done a 5-year plan, broken it down into yearly, monthly plan, and even a weekly plan. Now today we're talking about execution. How are we going to ensure that the plans that you've documented, that you're going to achieve them? First step, do you have what it takes to actually achieve those goals? That's the question you have to answer. And I want you now to take stock of your mental framework. Are you equipped really with the tenacity, the wherewithal to really get those plans out of the way? How are you going to determine whether or not you're fit enough, you're mentally ready, you are strong in order to get those plans out? Remember that failure begins in the mind, but so too does success. What is it that you're telling yourself? What is it that really is saturating your mind from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed? How is it that fear have really driven you and your daily actions? There's nothing wrong with fear. The issue is whether or not those fears have been allowed to thwart your action. Have you caused those fears to really stop you from growing? Have you caused them in the past to prevent you from taking some actions that you believe that you could have? Don't underestimate the power of the mind. If you're going to be moving forward, I want you to be in a place where you embody positivity, positive thoughts. Surround yourself with persons who are of the same kind of mindset. It is important for you to have a change in your mindset, a change in how you respond to things, how you respond to the elements around you, to the persons around you. I can sit here and try and motivate you as much as I can. You can hire coaches, you can see others, and it won't really change the way you act until you're really ready, until your mind is ready and made up to change. So for you to really grow out of the place where you have been all these years, and I want you to remember we're talking Fridays to financial health, then it is that you must change how you view things. Change your mindset. Having reflected on the way in which your mind now needs to work, it has to be different from where you were before. I want you to start looking around for a role model or a mentor. Now, you have faced many challenges. That's why we're here today. Now you've gotten to this stage where you've begun to embrace the need for change. I don't want you to fall off again. I want you to remember that we're not experts in everything. There are persons who have done it before. There are persons who have experienced the same challenges we've faced and have overcome. Nothing is wrong with you getting someone in your corner who is going to encourage you, who is going to motivate you, and who can guide you in the path that you're really planning to go. Having done it before, they are really the best persons to help you along. Don't forget, that part of the challenge that we face as human beings is that we fail to recognize that we are not alone in this thing. When we're in our difficulties, we tend to think that all is going to end because we are alone. We're the only one facing that kind of challenge, but certainly not so. And you don't have to make the mistakes that others have made. You can learn from others who have passed through the fire, who have gone through difficulties, who were at the very end of their road and came right back. Therefore, find someone that you can learn from, that you can grow out of your situation. And when you would have done that, when you would have experienced that growth, I know that is going to cause a fire inside of you. You won't want to go back to where you're coming from. Mentors and experts are there to help, and they're not selfish. Matter of fact, they couldn't get that attribute if they were really selfish. Tap into the resources that are there to help. You are moving in a new line. You want to realign yourself. You want to readjust, and you want to ensure that you succeed this time. Get a mentor or a role model. They're going to pilot you all the way. So my next tip for you is to get into a strategic planning session. For you, that's going to be like a retreat, a personal retreat where you're going to sit and you're going to dissect every single part of that plan that you have. I want you to break down that strategic planning session into 3 areas. 1, an area where you list all the resources that you're going to need in order to reach those goals that you had set. 2, the time that it's going to take you to get to those mileposts or goals. And 3, the amount of money that you're going to incur in order to get there. When you would have done that, remember that you had divided, or you would have broken down that plan into monthly plans or yearly plans. That is exactly how this strategic plan should now look. You are getting into a position where you really are putting down hard, serious measures in order to get you there. Realistic measures. It gives you a complete viewpoint of all the necessary actions you need to take and how you're going to make every effort in order to get you into progress, into succeeding along that pathway. This puts things into perspective. This gives you a chance to really see the pathway or the roadmap to take you where you want to go. So you know the details of the plan that you have. When you break down that plan into the resources, whatever it is that you need, are you going to need training? Are you going to need to pivot? You may have to do some rework. You may need some kind of qualification. Consider how a house is built. Block by block by block, or how you get to the top of a staircase. You take 1 step each time. Consider what we have been talking about. If you're going to move yourself into financial freedom, it's going to take certain steps. It's going to require you to do certain amount of work. It's going to take effort. These are not necessarily things that are going to be learned overnight. And so when you get into this planning session, you have to bear in mind that it's a period of growth and learning. It's a period where you are developing a skill that maybe you heard about before, maybe you've tried it before, but right now you want to succeed at it. So take time to really build on those steps that we've spoken about. Do not lose sight of your goal. Do not lose sight of where you're coming from and where you intend to be. So, in our next series, we're going to be looking at further steps in the execution phase of your plan. Remember, we're not leaving you halfway. We want you to walk this journey with us. And that's why we're saying from Friday, when you get home and you think that you're all undone, you think that it's going to end right now, you don't know where to turn, a new work week is coming up and you don't want to start that week in the same way you have completed this week. That is why we're saying to you, you have to take these steps. It's like a series. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time. Build up that level of confidence. Encourage yourself. Encourage yourself. And let us move forward together. We build and we grow together. Fridays to Financial Health. Let's get on to this series and let us ensure that those among us are also benefiting. So, if you have not yet signed up, please subscribe to our channel. Please share, like, and ensure that you join us next time when we dig deeper into Fridays to Financial Health. Thank you for watching and join us next time.